Welcome to I Am One, where I am one with the Creator and one with myself. We are rounding off this week of HooDoo Tarot readings with the Grandchildren card. It's the number 17 card in this deck, and it is in alignment with the Star card from the original tarot decks. And I think this is the most beautiful card we could end our weekly readings with. Because out of everything that we've talked about and everything that we've seen throughout this week to encourage us and keep us going and remind us of who we are, this takes us back to the root. The Grandchildren card takes us back to the root. What's the root? Our ancestors. The grandchildren represent, as the Star card does, hope. Not your hope, but the hope of your ancestors. Those who have come before you and they have labored and they have endured whatever atrocities, whatever injustices, whatever hardship they have endured. And some even gave and lost their lives in that process. But you are here and they are cheering you on. And I don't know if you can feel it every now and then that when you think things are not going well and you think that as hard as you try, it's still not going well, remember that you are a grandchild of somebody. You know your grandparents' name or your great-grandparents, or maybe you don't know who they are. But I'm telling you today, on Friday, I didn't even do my regular introduction because this is how important they need you to hear and want you to hear. You are so special. You are truly a godsend. I think somebody needs to hear that again. You are truly a godsend. For what your ancestors, your grandparents and great-grandparents and the grandparents before them had to endure and go through and experience and struggle and may not have been as successful as they wanted to be. Their hope is in you. You are a godsend. And if no one has ever told you that, I want you to know the ancestors are speaking to you right now to let you know you are a godsend. And since you are a godsend, then there is hope in this world because you exist. Just take a moment to breathe that in and then hold it for a few seconds and then exhale the power. And as you exhale, that is you affirming what they've already said about you. You are a godsend. You are their hope. Destiny is in you, and they know it. They see it. They're cheering you on. I talk to my husband every now and then, and I don't mean to make this longer than it needs to be, but I talk to my husband every now and then, and ever since I've started this journey in the root work, I have felt so close to my grandmother Viola. And I can't understand why. We used to have to go down to Georgia in the summer and be down there, and I would cry and I would want to go back home up north. And there was a house full of kids and she made us comfortable as she could. But I never really hung out with her. And she would go out in the fields and pick the black-eyed peas and the green beans and the butter beans and the corn. And we'd sit there on the porch with our little tubs, and we would be picking the peas or the beans or shucking the corn or whatever. But I was never out there with her. And now that I am out in the garden every year planting and watching the fruit come in and harvest, I feel so close to her. And this card reminds me that I'm a godsend. Her grandchildren are godsends. We all have a part to play. We all have a purpose for being here. And she's been gone for a good minute, but she is still cheering and rooting us on. We are her hope. You are your ancestors' hope. You are a godsend. Let that sink in as you finish and go through your day. Enjoy your weekend. Thank you for joining me this week. I'll be back on Monday. And with that, peace and blessings to you all.